Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss the best cards to have for domestic travel. Now, a lot on this channel, I tend to talk about international travel and how to redeem your points to get yourself great value to go to faraway destinations. The reason why I focus on international travel as compared to domestic travel is because if you look at the cost of international travel tickets versus domestic travel tickets, especially if we're talking about premium seats, the international travel tickets are a lot more expensive. And in some cases, if we're talking about, say, international first class, this can be completely out of reach for people unless they are redeeming their credit card points or they want to put themselves into financial ruin for just one trip. But as much as I like international travel, I also love traveling in the great US of A. America has some of the best places in the world to visit. Now, some people don't feel that they have enough points for international travel because they have an entire family that they're going on a trip with, and some people just don't desire doing international travel at all. Regardless of the reason, you should still explore the US because America has a lot to offer. You can go see some incredible mountains out in Denver, go lounge around some beautiful beaches out in Miami, or go eat at the best place in the country, which I feel is out in Dallas. If you want to travel around the States, credit cards can help you do that. But the question now ends up being, what are the best credit cards to use when traveling around America? Now, depending on if you want to travel as a family or if you want to travel solo, it is going to make a difference of which cards may end up working best for you. I'm going to list a number of cards in no particular order, and these are going to be ones that maybe you haven't thought of that I feel can end up working out really well for people who are interested in domestic travel. One thing to know is that although you can redeem partner miles with different domestic airlines for good value, it has become tougher and tougher to be able to do this because the domestic carriers have made it more difficult to either find award availability or they've made these prices more expensive. For a lot of people, when it comes to domestic travel, if you need to search for hours and hours just to save yourself 7,500 points, it may not end up being worth the effort as compared to if you looked at like international travel where it could take hours and hours, but it could save you 75,000 points. Well, then that can end up justifying all that additional time spent. So the first card I'm going to recommend for domestic travel is going to be the Bilt Rewards card. The Bilt Rewards card is one that gives you 3x back on dining, 2x back on travel, and then 1x back on all the purchases. What's great about the Bilt Rewards card is that the points that you earn with this card have the ability to be able to transfer out to Bilt Rewards partners, and Bilt Rewards has the best partners in the game, regardless of if you're looking for international travel or domestic travel. Although American Airlines is no longer a transfer partner of Bilt Rewards, you can still book many American Airlines flights with Alaskan Airlines miles, and Alaskan Airlines is a transfer partner of Bilt Rewards. And in many cases, the prices that Alaskan Airlines charges to book these American Airlines flights is very competitive to what American Airlines charges to book their own flights using their own miles. Bilt Rewards is also a transfer partner of Turkish Airlines, and since Turkish Airlines is part of Star Alliance, you can book many United flights with your Turkish miles. And if you happen to be searching on United's website and you see that there is award availability there, but it isn't offered to Turkish Airlines, well, with Bilt Rewards, you also have the opportunity to just transfer over the points to United because United is also a transfer partner of Bilt Rewards and then book directly with United. And if you look at the United fare and it isn't giving you great value for your points, well, you can decide to not transfer over your points to United and instead use Bilt Rewards Travel Portal where you get yourself a 1.25 cent per point value when you are booking flights through Bilt's Travel Portal. So this is the same as like the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The difference is that the Chase Sapphire Preferred has an annual fee of $95, whereas the Bilt Rewards card has no annual fee. The Bilt Rewards card doesn't offer a sign-up bonus, but they do have a unique way of earning points where you can pay your rent with the Bilt Rewards card without adding any type of fee on top of the rent. You do have to make 5 transactions each month with the Bilt Rewards card to even earn any Bilt Rewards points, but I don't find this to be an unreasonable ask when it comes to the potential of how many points you could possibly be earning and also how valuable Bilt Rewards points are. Now, if you are interested in the Bilt Rewards card or any of the cards that I named in this video, check out my description box to learn more. If you do decide to use any of my links, it does really help out the channel, and I'll be incredibly thankful for your support. The next card on my list is one that if you are someone who is a higher spender, this can end up being a beast of an earner card. And this is the Autograph Journey card. The Autograph Journey card is issued by Wells Fargo. I realize that there are many people who have a problem with Wells Fargo, but if you can move past that problem, you're looking at a card that has 5x back at hotel spend, 4x back on flights, 3x back on dining, and then 3x back on other travel. This card is offering really high multipliers and it only has a $95 annual fee. For people who travel a lot and spend a lot when they are traveling, whether it be leisure travel or happens to be for business, This is a card that is really hard to beat when it comes to how many points you can earn from spend on it. There's also the regular Journey card that has no annual fee. And this one works out better for people who like to travel but don't spend a ton on it. The way the math works out to determine whether or not you should get yourself the autographed Journey or just the regular autograph card is the autographed Journey has a $95 annual fee, but it comes with a very easy to use $50 airline credit. So I think that it's pretty easy to say that this card has $45 that needs to be made up as compared to the no annual fee that's offered by the autograph card. You're going to be earning points that can be cashed out at 1 cent per point. Wells Fargo does have transfer partners that are pretty limited at the moment, but one of them that I will highlight will end up being Choice Hotels, because you can transfer over 1 Wells Fargo point and get yourself 2 Choice Privilege points. Now, Choice Hotels are not going to be as luxurious as, say, the top Marriott properties or Hilton properties, but there's over 7,400 Choice Hotels around the world. And there's more than 1,700 here in the US, which is more than 300 than what Hyatt has across the globe. So if you spend $2,300 or more at hotels, or if you spend $4,500 or more on flights, or a combination of those two, somewhere in between that price point on flights and on hotels with the autographed Journey card, then it'll make more sense to have that card. Now, some people may see these numbers of $2,300 at hotels and $4,500 for flights and think this ends up being pretty steep. But if you travel as a family and you're not using points as a redemption, it can be pretty easy to end up reaching these type of numbers. My brother, who's not in the credit card or points and miles game, recently traveled with his family of 5, and he exceeded $4,500 in travel purchases just for that one trip. I think that getting one of the autograph cards can end up being a great choice for domestic travel. Next, let's look at a couple of hotel cards. Now, I think that if you happen to be a traveler at all, hotel cards can end up being beneficial. And the two that I like for domestic travel are both with Chase, and they're going to be the World of Hyatt card and also the IHG Business card. When it comes to getting good value for your points, the World of Hyatt makes it very easy for you. You don't need to know a bunch of different tricks. All you have to simply do with your World of Hyatt points is look to redeem them with a World of Hyatt property that isn't a Mr. or Mrs. Smith property, and chances are you're going to be getting yourself about 2 cents per point in value for your redemption. Now, this isn't a crazy value redemption, but this is one that takes very little work. If you want to, you could put in the work and get yourself a lot more value for your points with the World of Hyatt if you happen to be staying at one of their top tier luxurious properties, or if you happen to be looking to book yourself a suite with Hyatt points. The World of Hyatt card gives you 4x back with Hyatt stays, which I think is pretty good. And then also you get yourself a category 1 to 4 certificate each anniversary after paying the $95 annual fee. Now, I have yet to redeem one of these free night award certificates for under twice the amount of what the annual fee is. So for me, I feel that paying the $95 for this 1 to 4 certificate is a good trade-off. And the other hotel card is the IHG Business card. Now, the IHG Business card is another one that gives you an annual free night award certificate that ends up being a decent amount more valuable than the $99 annual fee that's connected to this card. But also, when you have the IHG Business card, if you are redeeming your points for a stay, if you do it for 4 nights, you get that 4th night free. So you only have to pay 3 nights of points to be able to stay 4 nights at this IHG property. There are other programs that offer a 5th night free, but I think that's pretty easy to say that way more people will find it more valuable to have a 4th night free versus a 5th night free. The IHG Business card gives you 10x back when you are using it at IHG properties, which I think is pretty good, even though IHG has pretty low value points. But one thing about their program that I do recommend for them as compared to what I don't recommend for other programs very often is to purchase IHG points. When they have a sale where you can buy the points for half a cent per point, there can end up being in many instances where you can end up redeeming those points for a decent amount more value than that. So though I typically don't recommend to purchase points, if you happen to be doing it for the IHG program, there's a decent chance you're going to get yourself good value with those redemptions. There are many domestic travelers who love having lounge access. And if you are someone who wants to have lounge access, then there are a few different ways you can end up going. If you are someone who just loves flying with one specific airline, then you could end up getting that airline's lounge access card. I do think those cards end up being pretty expensive, and I don't find them to be that much worth it unless you're someone who just exclusively likes to fly with one airline. But if that ends up being how you like to travel, then getting one of those co-branded lounge access cards can end up being a great fit for your wallet. But if you like to travel the way that I do, where although I may find certain airlines better, I'm not gonna end up going out of my way if it comes to being inconvenienced to try to get myself one specific airline if it ends up happening to being at a later time than I want to travel, or if the cost to fly with that airline is significantly more. So pretty much I am a free agent when it comes to which airline I'm going to be traveling with, and I still like to have lounge access. So what I think ends up being the best card to have for lounge access is going to be the American Express Platinum card. The American Express Platinum card is going to give you more lounge access than any other card out there. It does have a high $695 annual fee, but there's a whole bunch of credits that can help offset it. I have a number of other videos on this channel to give you a full breakdown of the card, and you can go through the different credits to see whether or not you can justify keeping this card in your wallet and be able to take advantage of the Centurion Lounge and the other many lounges that are connected to the American Express Platinum card. Now, if you travel as a family, I don't think that the American Express Platinum card is the best option, because if you decide to bring in guests, it can end up becoming pretty costly, or if you want to add authorized users, it can again also become costly. So what I would recommend for someone who likes to travel as a family is to look at getting yourself the Capital One Venture X card. The reason for this is because you can add yourself free authorized users, and those free authorized users get themselves lounge access into Capital One's lounges, but also they get themselves their own Priority Pass lounge access, which can allow for you and your spouse, for example, to be able to bring in 6 guests into a Priority Pass lounge, because you get to bring in 2 guests and also your spouse gets to bring in 2 guests. The Venture X card does have a $395 annual fee, but it has a couple of different credits that I feel pretty easily offset it, giving you a $300 travel credit and then also 10,000 Venture miles every anniversary of keeping the card open. That right there equals out to being more than $395. So if you can find a way to use that travel credit, then I think that this can end up being the perfect card for lounge access for people who are traveling as a family. And the final card I'm going to name in this video is going to be for someone who's looking for simplicity. This is someone who wants to get themselves good value for their spend, but also doesn't want to have to shuffle through a number of different cards or have to worry about transfer partners. If you are someone like this, I completely get it. The credit card points and miles game takes a lot of time and effort to learn. And if you're someone who doesn't want to have to put in all of that work, but also wants to get themselves good value for their travel, then I think a card like the Altitude Reserve can end up being a great fit in your wallet. The Altitude Reserve is a card that has a $400 annual fee, but it has a very easy to use $325 dining and travel credit. And with this card, the other highlighted benefits are that you get yourself 3x back on mobile wallet purchases. So you're not gonna need to know whether or not you're gonna be getting yourself points in this category or that category. Just know that if the vendor ends up taking mobile wallets, you're gonna get yourself 3x back for that purchase. And with the Altitude Reserve, when you end up redeeming your points with a feature called real-time rewards, you can get yourself 1.5 cents per point in value for your travel redemptions. So with this card, not only is it a strong earner, giving you 3x back on mobile wallet purchases, but you also have a strong redemption side, giving you 1.5 cents per point back when it comes to real-time rewards. This card is a straightforward card that doesn't have added fluff to make it look like it's better than it is. If you are a simple domestic traveler, chances are the Altitude Reserve will work out really well for you. But there you have it. That is my list for the best cards for the domestic traveler. Now, don't have the internet make you feel that you need to go somewhere internationally in the next week. There are millions of people every single year who travel to America because there are so many beautiful things to see right here in the great US of A. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you happen to have any questions about any of the cards that I named in this video. And if you happen to really like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day.